All right, everybody, we're back. So we have the one and only very talented designer, Jane Lockhart. And of course, celebrity. I just love her show. And that is, of course, Color Confidential. You can see that Wednesdays at 6:30. And that's with the W Network. Great channel, great network. And of course, congratulations.
Thank you.
We were talking a little bit, of course, about the color of 2015. And that's Marsala. Did I say that correctly?
Correct.
All right. And that is I shouldn't say burgundy, right? It's wrong. It's a...
Well, Merlot. I don't know. What do you want to call it? It's basically a red burgundy.
Okay.
So but although some people see purple in it, it's all in how you see color
That's
and
true.
call color.
And
Yes.
we do, Jane, see color differently.
Yes.
So that is something that we know for people that do have a colorblind issue. I mean, they of course see things differently, but even us, between you and I, how we look at a color
Right,
is
because
different.
we see color through experience and through culture. Everyone has their own culture, their own experiences, and that colors, if you will, their ability to describe and to associate color. So although you physically see it through your eyes, it's your brain that processes what it's seeing. So color blindness is simply a malfunction, if you will, of genes. It's not a bad or a good thing. It's just a difference. And what that means is that you don't necessarily see the color through light the same way someone else does. But that doesn't mean that they're not seeing a great color. They're just
Right.
not seeing the same expectation of color that you are.
And I have many times, and I'm sure a lot of you mums out there, especially if you've got children, you've had the debate where your son or daughter's correcting you, telling you that no, mom, that is blue, or
Right.
that is this color, or it's like, no, honey, it's this. So we literally see it differently, and you're convinced that you're right.
That's right. But that's because your experiences are what change your ability to see or not see a color. So the problem, if you will, with Marsala, I mean, it's a color, so it's great that we have the luxury of being able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But in the color context world, it is a color that for people who have lived through that color before, in the, say, the 80s, and they called it burgundy, they're not real happy to see it again. Because they kind of feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to go back to that time because suddenly...
Is it the same as that hunter green thing?
Yeah,
I mean,
Dusty
we overdid
Rose.
that.
Yeah, that's the problem. But for other people who've never experienced it, they're like super excited and thinking, oh, great, I love jewel tones. I love the idea of dark color. And if you know what I mean when I say jewel tones, then you're old enough to know what burgundy is.
Fair enough. Now, when we're talking about something like Marsala, and whether you want to say it's in the purple family, I mean, I guess that's safe, right? Where do you use it? I mean, this is where I kind of go, okay, great that we've identified a super color. I think fashion, I can say this is easy to use, but how do we do so in our homes? Is it more using it as a pillow, a throw? Is it an accent? Or are we putting that on our wall?
I think it's everywhere. You may not see it in countertops necessarily anytime soon because Canadians are risk adverse, generally speaking. So color would fall into that category. But you're definitely going to see it as accent pillows, throw pillows, blankets, duvets, towels, anything that's what we would consider soft goods or something that is easy-ish to change in the long run, which paint, of course, would fall into.
Now, do you believe in following trends in terms of paint colors for when we're painting our homes? Is it ideal, or is it kind of stick with what you love? Because I know, I mean, I watch your show religiously, so I kind of know what you think. But just for everybody out there,
I have two thoughts on that.
Okay, all right.
That's a really good question. This is Real Estate Talk Show, so I would say to you, there's on some level, there are certain colors that are going to be difficult for a potential purchaser to get past.
Right.
I have been around long enough to understand the damage that sponge painting has done to properties visually in terms of trying to sell them, even though you say to everyone, oh, but it's just paint. Yeah. So for color, it has that same impact. On the other hand, I also think that it's a visceral thing. There are certain colors that you love, and if you love them, gosh, why not just do them? You know, maybe think about not doing all the structural elements in those colors, but things that you think you can change, absolutely. And trying to do stuff that's creative allows you to access that creativity with color, which you may not be able to do with hardwood floors and countertops.
Right, very good point. So Jane, if you're in a home and you're thinking of being there long term, I guess you're saying you have a little more liberty.
Yes.
Where, you know what, do it as you feel.
Correct.
And because that's your oasis, that's your space, that's your place that you should feel that it's yours.
Yeah.
And that whatever color that may be, I know you'll support that. But if you're looking at a short term, this is, or you're not sure, you're in that contemplation stage, things could change, in the immediate future. Well, then you know what? Stay safe. Just from the pocketbook perspective.
Yeah, stay safe. And, if you're going to invest in small things that you don't feel bad about investing in. And, if you don't like burgundy, then you're never going to invest in it, regardless of how trendy the color is. But I would say to people, always keep your mind open, because sometimes a color that you think you don't like is exactly that. You think you don't like it,
right.
But then you see it and it changes your opinion of it.
We say the same thing about homes. A lot of times people say, you just see their body language and they don't even want to bother. They'll go through it, but no, that's not it. And all of a sudden, after seeing another 10, 20 homes, they're going right back to that home that they kind of said that they weren't interested in. It's just interesting how, I think it plays tricks on us. But sometimes what we don't like, the fact that we're even commenting on it means we're paying attention.
Absolutely. And I think the bigger thing about the color Marsala is that it's part of jewel tones, meaning richer, deeper colors are coming into vogue, and colors that we've traditionally stayed away from sweeter colors, if you will, but we are starting to see those become more popular. So a softening of the palette and maybe a little bit less of a masculine palette. Not to say that you're not going to build your homes like that, but that maybe some of the accents are going to be a little softer.
That's great to hear. I think we've actually needed that for a while.
I think that's the bigger context. It's not so much the color. People they will have an immediate reaction to it. It's really, what does it mean in the broader concept?
So just explain that. I mean, when we're looking at that color wheel, of course, when you're saying softer palettes as opposed to those that are not harsher colors, how would you describe them? They're just more bold? Is that a right word?
Yeah. If I say the word pastel, people will again turn the radio off. Yeah. I don't want to hear that. But what I mean by that is color and design in the last 10 years has been more angular, square corners, sharper edges, colder materials. And we are still seeing that. It's just that now it's balanced a little bit more by some of those colors that we would typically relate to softer items.
And can that mean warm as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Paler pinks, softer blues, turquoise, colors that have a spa-ness to them maybe, that are filtering other parts of the home besides just the bathroom.
There you go. See, there's so much to know. But you're a busy lady, and I understand that you're a book of business and certainly a huge amount of repeat referral. But if people want to find out more about you, how can they do so?
Best place is the internet, is just to email us. We're just janelockhart.com.
We're not just Jane Lockhart, but we're so janelockhart.com.
We're janelockhart.com. Good point. But I was going to say, we also have lots and lots of photography. I am an addict about, I hate this word, but curating pictures, which is probably a good way of saying it, is we take pictures of what we see, not all the time, but what we think is important, and we post it. We have no problem sharing that information.
Well, and we love that, and we're going to be posting what you actually do, because we think social media, it's just a way people are coming, checking out what we're up to, but we love highlighting what you do because you do show those examples. And I'm sorry, but we're all visual.
Yes.
I mean, some of us are audible as well, but most of us, we can all agree that we prefer to see something for ourselves. Yes. So we applaud you for that. That's fantastic.
Thank
and again, reminding everybody to see your fantastic show, Color Confidential.
Thank you.
And that's on Wednesdays, 6:30 on the W Network. So Jane, thank you for joining us yet again.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have you back.